there's a lot of specification standards, and typically the tier one developer, or the supplier, spend almost 30 to 40% nowadays in the development life cycle just to prove that this is all safety compliant and product fully validated. The development life cycle is getting changed. You don't spend a lot of time in developing the product. Now there is enormous amount of effort has been put in verification, validation, and then check your product is compliance to the standards.
So is it as compliant as avionics, or we are still yet to get there?
Really, I don't want to get into the debate of avionics and automotive, but both are equally critical because both carries passengers.
Thank you. Thanks, Thambi. We go to the next question.
Yeah, this is a question about so here we are talking about infotainment or car-related entertainment, but the powertrain and the source that drives these vehicles, that requires a lot of management, especially if you go to US and all these advanced countries. Hybrid cars and now completely electric cars are there. So what is the electronics or the management of those things, and what is the view of the panel on that?
So one thing is very clear, the established car makers are getting challenged by the newcomers actually. And these all challenges are coming from something out-of-box thinking. Whether you take Tesla or you look at the Google or the Apple, those are also trying to do something different actually. So the things are changing, world is changing. The existing car makers are also beginning to understand that it is no more what they were doing before is sufficient enough actually. And major change has to be done. Maybe I ask Amit and Nambi to comment more actually. How do you see this?
Yeah, if you really look at powertrain electronics, it's been always a very, very critical piece of automotive electronics, and it will always be, because that's, as you said, the heart of automotive electronics. But is the change as fast as we are seeing other pieces of electronics? Maybe not really, because if you really look at engines and engine development cycles, and since all of that is actually linked to that. But what we are seeing happen in case of powertrain electronics, if you see engine control modules or others, these are going to get connected again. So I'm going back to connectivity, but what essentially this is going to give rise to is the big data out of the car, right? So the big data of all your engine parameters that are available. Now in starting, in first, this is all going to be black data. What does black data basically mean? This is loads of data that nobody knows what to do with. But what people are hoping is that these OEMs are going to make sense out of this data and see how can you refine it? How can you refine engines on the go? How can you refine engines and give engine higher fuel efficiency or more power, and you don't have to wait for the next generation of engines and powertrain control modules to come. But basically, even in 6 months, you've launched a car and you think now you have enough data that you could refine some of the parameters to give more power or higher fuel efficiency. I could over the air, update my cars to give those features. So that's what's going to happen also in powertrain.
And
that's what I was wondering.
Yeah.
So I think good discussion, but time is up already, and morning I already learned that time is non-renewable actually. So we should need to take a hard stop here now. And thank you very much for the audience for your patience hearing and listening to the panel. Also thanks to the panel for sharing the ideas and views over here actually.
And we must thank you all.